Scholars, welcome to the counselor's office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, and we're just going to jump right into it to talk about Call to Arms. That's right. One of the worst events in Destiny 2 history. And that says a lot because the dawning is right next door. Now, I say this in regards to the fact that it's a complete failure because it fails to achieve its potential. It fails to achieve its goal. We'll get to that in a minute. I know there's a lot of people out there trying to, say that this is, but yeah, I think at its base, at what the thought process of what maybe Bungie was trying to achieve could be a really cool event. But the delivery and presentation is, well, it's prototypical of Bungie, and it's prototypical of what you can expect for an event in 2025 in Destiny 2, which is ass. It's fucking ass. Except for Festival of the Lost, which actually provided an actual activity that was, and I say, quote, new. It's repurposing the Altars of Sorrow with a spin, but at least it did something, and it's also free. So I'm not going to complain about them reusing, assets, especially since people continue to want the Infinite Force back, and it was just reusing old assets as well. That and people were upset that Haunted Lost Sectors were not part of the last Festival of the Lost, as giving us more options to choose from what to do. So in general, Festival of the Lost was a good event comparative to what we've gotten all year long so far. Call to Arms, if I were to gander, we'll get into the nit and gritty. By the way, I'm not doing a brutally honest review because I want to try to be quick with this video just to give my general thoughts outside of first impressions, because I already did that. After getting into it, I know the issues and what the problems are, and I do want to give some possible feedback to possibly fix this in the future, right? If I were to put a pin on what Call of Arms was meant to be versus what it ended up being, is that it was meant to be equivalent to Guardian games. Guardian games is, Titans, Hunters, Warlocks are going against each other, competing each other in a friendly competition. And you're trying to beat each other. You got your point system, you got the medals, and it's all medal based. Whereas Call to Arms is supposed to be a free-for-all. You versus me. Who's the best Guardian? Who's going to do the best? Who can get the highest score? And at its base, that concept is cool. It gives people a way to show off their skills. It gives people a way to flex themselves. The problem is that this entire event's delivery is counterproductive to all of that and everything. Every aspect of this event is horrible because it fails to do that fundamental thing of competition. It's this illusionary thought process that this is actually competitive. It's not, because it's unfair. When you think of like the Olympics, you think about sports, the base rules and regulations, the field, everything about it is supposed to be equal in terms of competition. It's fair. Everyone gets an equal chance, whereas Call to Arms does not give everyone an equal chance. And we'll talk about that right now. Let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Call to Arms continues the sin of every other activity besides Festival of the Lost. Even Solstice of Heroes fell into this sin. Call to Arms is nothing different than any other event or activity we've had in a game, because all it is the fucking portal. Guys, the salt mines. Bungie really didn't stop to think about, the salt mines. People are making jokes about how bad the portal is because everyone's in the mines. Let's do the salt mines. I know there's a developer out there that chose this because they thought they're being cheeky and like, haha, on the nose. Aren't I funny? Meeting. And it's funny because the salt mines and the fact that Bungie changed it to Taken is probably going to be like continue the there's so many issues with the salt mines. It's funny. Bear the fact that even Dado said the non-taken one was like the worst one. I forgot what the little bastards are called. The dread. There you go. But let's talk about this. Outside of the fact that's the portal, and everyone hates the portal, and this is the same shit we've done all for the past 4 to 5 months. Instead of actually bringing anything new, they just brought the portal. What immediately makes me wonder what the fuck they're doing is that outside of this one, all 3 of these have matchmaking. All 3 of these, or at least these 3, and this one you could do solo. But these 3, you could try to do solo, or these 2 you could try to do solo, but it's a pain in the fucking ass at ultimate mode, which by the way, if you are not doing ultimate mode, you are already at a disadvantage. We'll talk about that in a minute when it comes to the bigger picture, right? But one of the things that makes this event fail is that this is supposed to be a competition where you're going against each other. Why is it activities that require matchmaking? Why is it activities where you work as a team? That's great if it's Guardian games, but it makes no sense. Why would if I'm trying to get the highest score possible in the coil, and I don't like the coil, like it's one of those activities that it is a pain in the ass to do solo. You can do it solo, but it makes no fucking sense that you can match other people. Let me help 2 other people get high scores. That way we're actively competing against each other and I'm helping my competitors. The same thing with fucking zone control. Like, I get that Solstice already had Rumble, but Rumble makes the most sense in this activity, like this event, because it's 100% based on skill. How good are you? Are you going to get number 1, number 2, number 3? And it's a point system, right? And you're actively competing against everyone. Why is it zone control where it's a team of 6 versus a team of 6 and us winning gives you more points? Me helping you get kills. Like if I get a shit ton of assists, I'm helping someone else get kills and it pads their score and I'm actively boosting them. Like none of this event is absolutely a failure because it doesn't even do what it's supposed to do, which forces everyone against each other. Instead, you have like 3 activities that end up helping each other instead of competing against each other. At least the salt mines, at least it forces you to be by yourself. But we come to the scoreboard, right? Obviously your boy got 1%. This is the idea of the score makes sense for Call to Arms. It doesn't make sense for the portal. The problem with this whole situation and the scoring and all that is it's not based on skill. It's based on what level you are. Yes, they changed it from you no longer need to be 550 now you have to be 500, but you have to be 500 to get and be able to do ultimate mode and be able to do the maximum amount of in order to get the most of your bang of your buck, you have to be 500, right? You have to be 500. Not only that, but literally pay to win actually influences your ability. That's right. I probably got pay to win to get me the boost I needed to be at the top 1% for salt mines. Jesus. What do I mean? The battle pass. The battle pass gives you if you max it out, 15% score boost. That's right. Is that skill? No, of course not. By the way, the salt at this point, it's no longer based on skill. We've gone beyond the threshold of skill. Because with the salt mine specifically, you have to get the high value target to get the highest potential score, along with going as fast as possible, right? But if you do not, at this point, if you do not do a run with the high value target, you have no shot. You might as well end. That's right. That's another thing that makes this specific event horrible, is that it's no longer based on skill. It's now based on luck. And you will be running and running and running and hoping that this random ass high value target spawns. And then if you do, you finally have a chance to actually compete on top of the 15% that you paid for. It's so fucking stupid. And there's other issues with the salt mines. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care about the emblem. I just care about getting the helmet. So I'm going to give you the trade secrets. I don't know who in their right mind chose the salt mine when you can bypass the final boss's shield with a solar titan. That's right. Solar Titan, you throw a hammer, you can continue to bust down the shield, and you can instantly nuke the boss. You don't even have to do the mechanic, and it saves you a shit lot of time, which is why I'm so fucking high. Literally eager edge, kill the high value target, eager edge, bonk hammer all the way through. You know, not even having to stun champions. I'm one-shotting champions with bonk hammer, and then I absolutely murder the fucking final boss, and I get the highest score possible. Like, tell me, outside of like everything I said with like eager edging and, you know, bursting through, everything else I said was not skillful. Abusing a glitch that's been around for 4 to 5 months is not skillful. Especially if I think one or two subclasses can actually take advantage of that. I think Warlocks can, I'm not for sure, but Titans can absolutely abuse it, have been abusing it. And then high value target is not skill, it's luck. So right there, that eliminates this section. And then, like I said, the coil, proving grounds, and the crucible all revolve around working as a team. Sure, you can go solo, but it's focused on team play. And then Heliostat can be soloed, right? It can be soloed, let's be honest. And honestly, after playing matchmaking, I think it's better that you play solo than trying to play with a team. It just, randoms just kill all your tokens, and it's a fucking nightmare. Now, how would I fix this dilemma? How would I fix this situation? In my personal opinion, we're 12 minutes in. How would I fix this? How would I make this competitive? How would I make this fair? We can shit on the portal. Listen, we could shit on the portal. I can give my big, you know, we hate the fucking portal. Let's just talk about the event. How could we improve the event outside of new activities? We all know we could say new activities. I could scream it from the top, new activities, and I have an idea of an activity that could work. But listen, we know the portal's bad. I'm not going to regurgitate it. But what are they more likely to actually do for the community? Okay. First things first. Remove this. Remove this. What I mean is, everyone is preset. I'm just going to choose a bunch of random shit. Don't worry about me. I'm just going to choose it right. This is just for the display. Everyone gets a preset. It's just preset. Everyone is on the same level. Also, make it to where it's not like, because one of the biggest problems of this event is that's not based on skill. It's based on how much fucking negative modifiers you can brute force through. And that's not fun, right? This is a free event. This isn't like competitive. This isn't trials. This isn't like end game. This is supposed to be a fun, competitive, you know, game mode that anyone can participate in. It can be competitive, but also fun. So how do you make it fun? You put everyone at the same base. Everyone gets the same modifiers. It's locked. And let's be honest, power does not matter. Everyone gets access to ultimate mode. Everyone gets equal opportunity for points. What matters is not the modifiers that have nothing to do with that scoring system, but instead it's how fast can you go through the activity? How little do you die? Like how often, like if you're not dying and you're going flawless, you get a shit ton of points. How many enemies can you kill? How, like, champions used to count for points, you know, make them count for points, count trash ads for points. all these can factor in as a skill measurement. You're going fast, you're killing everything as fast as possible, you're staying alive, not dying constantly. And at the end, that's your score. And everyone has the opportunity to achieve that, regardless of if you have the battle pass or you don't have the battle pass, regardless of what level you're at, regardless of like your light level, regardless of the modifiers. Everyone is at an equal footing. Everyone's able to participate. Everyone's able to compete. Remove the high value targets as a point. Like, you get no points for high value targets or anything like that for like where they show up. Because let's be honest, I feel like high value targets are just left over from some activity that Bungie wanted to do with them. Because if you're already doing the challenge, you're already hitting max points anyway. So I don't know the reason for the high value target. Like, I've never messed with them leveling at all. Like, I've never had to touch them. And other activities don't have them. And that's another thing. Sorry, lost my train of thought. The coil is another activity that is 100% based on luck, which really sucks because you have to hope that the Glasskeeper spawns, which is not really an easy activity to just blitz through. It's a pretty lengthy one. So it's another situation where it's not based on skill, it's based on fucking luck. So remove that as part of the fucking thing. In fact, I don't even think the Glasskeeper is needed anymore. Just remove that shit. I think making this more balanced, more fair, and make it based on actual skill, more skill expression. It doesn't matter, like, you have your negative modifiers, but it's not every fucking negative that possible. It's not every unfun one, but you have some boons. Bungie curates it, and everyone's on the same field. Everyone has the same opportunity, whether you're started playing or whether you are a veteran. It is purely on your skill, because there's a lot of skillful players who are returning to Destiny or wanted to return to Destiny to play this event. Don't know why. Maybe the cosmetic is enticing to you like it is for me. And you are a skillful player. You know, you play the game. You used to play the game religiously. You're really good at it, and you haven't been leveling up. I think it's stupid that this free event doesn't allow you to participate if you are not a certain level. Which goes on to the other thing that's the problem with this event, is that it has an identity crisis. Like, this event wants to be a catch-up mechanic. It's really freaking weird because you're getting a bunch of loot to level up. Like, you're getting like daily, and then you're getting these lawless vouchers, which are supposed to also help boost you up. Like, this is meant for returning players or people, which is kind of weird because if you're returning, they're already going to give you like the returner bonus. So it kind of makes it pointless to want to come back now. Like, I don't know. Again, it's really confusing. It's like you're going to get a bonus anyways if you play Renegades and you haven't been playing. But I don't know if doing this activity will ruin your chances. If you get, like, I think they said if you haven't gotten like 30 seasonal pass levels, you'll be part of the returning bonus. So it's like, do you want to waste your time trying to level this? Like, it's really confusing because if you're 550 or 500, you may not even need these lawless vouchers. So like I said, it has an identity crisis. It's really fucking weird. It wants to be a catch-up mechanic, but it also wants you to be competitive. But then it doesn't actually let you be competitive because if you're not 500, you're already at a disadvantage at being, you know, as high, you know, you're already losing points. And like I said, we're at the point of a lot of these activities where you need to be high, the maximum amount of points. You have to have the battle pass 15%, and you have to be lucky to get the high value targets or the Glasskeeper. You have to be able to get, you know, speed bonuses, or you have to be God tier in Crucible at this point, or get a good team that helps you win and be God tier. Like, there's a lot of factors of why this is probably one of the worst events, because it fails fundamentally at what it wants to be. And lastly, the drama. every fucking person. It's funny because it went from, you know, people shitting on Bungie to then it was content creators versus, you know, the community blaming each other. And then it went to, again, everyone jumping against Bungie. And now we've gone full circle to how it was back in the day where it was casual versus veterans. And everyone's complaining about veterans, you know, sweaty and ruining the game. I'm sure someone's going to be calling me out saying I'm sweaty, even though I play this game casually. I just know how to abuse shit. Like, I know how to get around some of this stupid shit. Like, I don't know if you, even as a casual, I knew you could break the shield of this boss with a Titan. And your boy's been a Titan main. So like when I was farming even K1 logistics, you could do the same thing to the wizard. And that's how I was getting like 3-minute, 4-minute runs to level up and do my dailies. Is just like do that shit, right? Especially Solstice. I farmed a shit out of Solstice because I wanted the God Roll SMG, which I did get. And that's another thing. We'll get to the loot, which is kind of like disappointing out to me, all of this. There's a lot of back and forth. And listen, again, I blame Bungie because this event is a failure because it doesn't know what it wants to be. It wants to bring a bunch of casuals and people back to play it, but at the same time, it immediately, you know, doesn't give everyone an equal footing, an equal chance, which is kind of shitty, right? And then you have the veterans who are like, well, we spent all this time leveling up. I'm going to be honest, as someone who played casually, no one gives a fuck. There is zero skill and power progression in this game. Zero. If you think spending hours and hours and hours and hours grinding the mines is skill, boy, do I have some bare bad news. Even back in the day when power progression was a thing, hell, Destiny fucking 1, Forever 29, or what was it, 29? Oh, it's whatever the number was. You essentially had to do raids. And we all know that only a certain percentage of people actually do raids. So even then, back in the day, leveling up took more skill than just doing solo ops. So anyone, like the argument of, oh, you know, Bungie needs to, you know, we need a W. We need this to be sweaty because I worked my butt off to get 550. No one gives a shit. It's just stupid power progression. There is nothing skillful about getting to 550. Not a damn thing. Now, doing the Avalon conquest, that takes some patience and skill. Outside of that, that's the only thing about the power progression, like doing that activity, that's skillful. You know what's funny is that people are going back and forth, and subjectively, you either like this, helmet. I like it. I like this helmet. I think it will look great for my Titan with my build, my knight build, my sword stronghold knight build, like juiced. I'm excited, but I can see why some people wouldn't like it, right? And then the emblem, right? And let's be honest. Let's be brutally honest. People are just, you got casuals and veterans barking at each other especially over an emblem that almost no one will fucking wear, especially the veterans. They'll get it, they'll never wear it. I will probably wear it a little bit and then never wear it again. Yeah, probably. Especially if I end up doing all the conquests and it'd be Avalon, I'll probably wear the conquest emblem instead because it looks cooler in my opinion. Now, as a caveat, you do have to get, you do gotta get 50 points. And if you are playing matchmaking, you will never get there. Like all these points are based on matchmaking. You will never get, you have to play solo, right? If you don't feel like, I think Heliostat, I think maybe you can get to 50. I don't know. Like, I think at that point, I understand, because if you do want the helmet, you have to get 250s, right? You have to get there because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, even just getting, 10 points, which I'm gonna be honest, it is fucking wild to me that these 3 dots is 10 points, then it jumps to 50, then 100. Like, it's wild to me because I feel like it should follow this trend where it goes 1, 10, 25, 100, and then the 310. Like, I feel like the scoring here is also kind of fucked up with the points, because I feel like if you got 25, 25, 25, you can get the helmet. Yeah, like 50. I feel like that's another way that Bungie could fix this in the future, is make the scoring system literally match this. You know, top 30%, top 10%, top 1%. Which it's weird because at 1% you do get like 300 points. So it's almost equivalent to this right here. It's really weird. That's my feedback. I think that they can clean it up. They can make it a little bit easier in the regard to the point system. It's just really, it's so weird. 3 bars and 30% is 10 fucking points. Get the fuck out of here. Also, for the future, maybe don't make Emblem the competitive thing, because I feel like a retard. No reason I went the max is not even for the Emblem. It's a guarantee I always get the helmet. Like at 300, I'm guaranteed the helmet. If that goes down, like I said, if I go down to the next bar, which is 50%, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, I'm not even guaranteed the helmet, which it's you're all in or you're all out. So that's why I went all in on the salt mines. But if they make the changes to the 25 points, I feel like it's going to let people get the helmet more, because let's be honest, I feel like highest score should be the cool thing. And honestly, either you make a really dope ass emblem that really signifies skill, or you make a variant of this helmet that only the 1% get. Like people can get this helmet, you know, pretty fairly, so you don't upset the casuals. But then you get like how the battle pass has the helmet and then has like a special unique version of the helmet. I think they could do the same thing here. Like this is like, it looks to me more like a light version, but what if it became like instead of flames, it's stasis. It's a state, like they got the stasis effect. And then it's all like a dark, it's like a dread looking kind of helmet. It's all dark, like a Black Knight, White Knight, Black Knight. And that's all they could do. They can make it look like a Black Knight with stasis versus the White Knight with the solar, like the light and darkness. And that could be the veteran sweat fest, right? And I know that's gonna piss some people off. You're like, I want the stasis one. Listen, I think Bungie trying to cater to everyone will never work. However, oh, did I drop? It just dropped live. Yeah, so now I'm at 5 points. Holy shit, I got dropped out. Not that it actually matters to me, but that just happened live. Lol, people are still grinding the shit out of it. So I'm now top. Okay, so I am like, what, top above average? Yeah, that's about right. That's about right, to be honest. Could I probably go up a little bit more? Probably, but above average, like that's about right. I'm above average. Outside of that, I think that's my feedback. Oh, you're wondering what activity could they put in here? Gambit. Listen. I know that's a spicy take. Make a special, listen, they're not using Gambit. They're not touching it. The assets are free. All they got to do is do half the moats, remove invasions. So you no longer invade, and it's a 1v1. Who can kill the most enemies, dunk the moats, and kill the boss the fastest? If that isn't the equivalent of testing your skill against another guardian, let me tell you. And even wins give you the most points, losses give you less, but it's also based on speed, right? If you can kill the boss within the time limit after your opponent kills theirs, like you get a certain, like you get a countdown, like after they kill theirs, you get like a minute to kill yours. And if you don't, you just get a handful of points, but really it should be based on on winning and how fast you can kill it. Like, and every time you go against someone, it's a new opportunity, but it's going to ultimately be based on you as an individual. How fast can you kill that boss? How fast you can get there, right? Wins obviously will give you some points, but you have to be fast. Like even if you win, but you're going grandma slow, other people are beating people and killing the bosses really fast. They're going to get, it's a skill expression. It's not just based on if I win or lose. It's also how fast can you go? Because if you're fast and you're clean, you're always going to win. So that's just my thoughts. Anyways, this is worse than the Dawning, because the Dawning outside of Destiny 1 has never been anything than baking cookies. Whereas Phil, the Call of Arms and its goal, it did not meet its goal. It has failed to reach its goal. That's my thought. Cool concept, cool idea, horrible delivery.